So thank you, leaders. It's our pleasure to host you for this Global Leadership Masterclass. We believe that as we engage this evening, this will be a very interactive and also very transformational period or moment as we just share our thoughts. I know we'll be guiding the discussion, but we'll engage as much as possible. So it's my pleasure just to again welcome all of you. We'll be shortly having our introduction, and maybe as we prepare, if you are able to put your video on as you introduce yourself, that will be okay, depending with where you are, if it's convenient for you. So just feel free to use any particular style that you feel is okay with you. Otherwise, let me request one of us, our alumni, Mr. Bernard Mwangi, to open with a word of prayer.
Good evening, leaders.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, let us pray. Our Heavenly God, our Father in heaven, we come before you this evening in thanksgiving. At your throne of mercy, we ask for forgiveness where we may have offended you, O Lord. Lord, guide us through this session as we start off. We want to wish the new team, that is Cohort 12, a good start, a good beginning, and a journey through the entire course as they pursue leadership skills. We want to pray for the generational leadership network in the leadership of Mr. Joseph Kiari and his team, that God, you are going to inspire them as they progress on with these two cohorts, that they are going to disseminate the information that is necessary to share the information and the knowledge that you have inspired in them, so that the upcoming leaders may be able to benefit and work for your glory. Lord of God, we want to thank you even for the opportunity to be in this team tonight. Dear Father, I want to encourage the new team that they should not take heart and they should take courage to pursue the courses at their places of work, wherever one is serving. They should consider themselves as leaders and to exemplify themselves in the leadership skills that they are going to acquire. Father, we want to thank you and we want to ask for your journey, for your guidance as we journey on in this program. For this we pray, trusting the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Mwangi. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Yes, asante sana. So as we get into the session, just before the introduction, we are talking about becoming a global leader. So that will be the thinking behind all the discussions that we're going to have. So just think about yourself as I think about myself, where I am, based on probably my leadership in terms of a personal level, leadership in terms of the small circle, probably in the home setup, in the family setup, probably also at the organization level, the ministry level where you are serving. So as we go through, you'll place the information and place the lessons where they fit, because this masterclass addresses across board. These are class for every leader, be it in the church, be it in the private sector, be it in government, anybody can fit in this class. That's why we are calling it a global leadership masterclass, because this is what we believe. We believe that every leader should think global. And that means if I'm packaging myself for ministry, if I'm packaging my business, if I'm packaging my product, I'm packaging my service, then I should package it with a thinking of a global perspective. So maybe looking at the global market, looking at the global outlook, and that means I will not limit myself just within the people that are around me. Yeah, there is a restaurant I normally visit in Umoja, just a small restaurant, but it has a global outlook. The kind of food they make, the quality of food, the way the food is served, you will just feel like you are in a five-star hotel. But this is just a very small hotel, but the owner thinks global. Actually, when we were discussing with him, I was telling him, wow, it's like you have gone through our masterclass, because you're thinking global as much as you are serving in the local market within the surrounding. So in the masterclass, we'll be talking about thinking global, leading local. That means leading now, leading where I am, and most of us are already leading. So taking the initiative probably to go an extra mile, and then this compounds to global transformation. Global transformation starts with just that simple aspect of me and you transforming where we are. Mother Teresa said that if all of us can sweep our compound, the whole world will be clean. If all of us can sweep our compound, the whole world will be clean. Basically, that can interpret it to mean that if every one of us can first appreciate that we are leaders, intentional leaders, then we'll go an extra mile to equip ourselves to become better, and also to be able to enrich ourselves so that we can be able to serve better. So we believe also in the masterclass that a better leader is a better life. Yeah, a better leader is a better life. So if I am to have a good life, if I have to improve my life, if I have to better my life, then the only way I can do that is to be able to think about my leadership and also to be able to enrich my leadership. Okay, so a better leader is a better life. And a better family is also as a result of a better leader. And a better community is a result of a better leader or better leadership. And that translates to the nation and also to the world. So I just take the opportunity to welcome all of you, and feel free. We'll be exploring quite a lot. We'll explore in terms of learning, in terms of outdoor activities when that time comes. We'll also explore in terms of networking. So this will be a package that will come with so many other aspects as we move on. So allow me now just to take a few minutes so that we can be able to know who is who. And we'll have a time just to introduce ourselves. You can see most of you have indicated their names. I think only one person that we are not able to identify using the names that they have logged in. So I think I'll just want to allow ourselves to be able to go through the introduction so that we are able to flow together. So I'll start by welcoming Mr. Benson. Just tell us your name and also maybe your profession, and you can share maybe one or two takeaways, one or two expectations, so that we are able to align ourselves with your expectations as we move on. We know that we have already engaged on that, but we'll keep on re-echoing our expectation so that we are able to address the particular issues that concern us as leaders. So I said, if it's possible to put your video on when you're introducing yourself, please, you can do that. But if it's not possible, just put on the audio and then introduce yourself. So Benson, welcome.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, I'm Benson Duva. And, I thank God for being one of you guys. My profession is I'm a teacher and I'm a motivational speaker. And also I'm inspired to be a leader. So what I'm expecting from this is be a responsible leader. So I'm expecting much from you and I'm trusting the process. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Benson. Let me move on to Mr. Edwin Chege. So Mr. Edwin, you can just unmute and yourself.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chege.
Am I audible?
Yes,
we
you
can
are.
I'm
hear you.
audible. Eh?
Yes.
Thank you for this opportunity. I thank God for this opportunity to be here this evening to learn more on the global leadership. Okay, I'm married, born again, but my profession is that I'm an advisor. I advise families on insurances, investments, and retirement planning. My takeaway is for me to be a better leader first in my house, that is in my family, that is in me and mama and my children, and also just try to work more on the gift. I'm sure the gift God has given me. It's still a learning process, and I know once I go through the leadership process, I'm sure something will. I'll get something that will maybe even make me to know more about my purpose in this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edwin. Good to see you. Good to see you. We look forward for a very interactive session. And I can also hear on the background your family is there, so let them also feel free to join.
Thank you.
And listen through.
Thank you, sir.
Asante sana. So
Yeah.
let me move on to Mr. Frank Asava. Mr. Frank, you can unmute and continue.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
We are fine, we can hear you.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. You know, when I was being introduced, somebody was trying to call my line. So I think it had some interruption on my communication. That's why I was not very sure whether I'm audible. But it's good if I'm being audible, well and good. I'm happy to be in this forum. My name is Frank Asava. I'm born again and I'm happy to be born again. I'm a family man with 3 boys, 1 girl, and of course I have a wife. And we thank God for these family members in my life. I am glad also to be in this forum. What I'm looking forward to is how do I become a better leader for myself? How do I lead myself well? And how do I be an effective leader in the domain in which I am in? So in this session, I am really looking forward to be sharpened by other sharp objects. That is the people who are in this forum, and to be able also to sharpen others as we move along. So I'm looking at this forum to be made better and also to enjoy and have fun in this forum. So may God help us to be partners in equipping one another. Thank you very much. I am in the profession of financial services, where we deal with insurance services. So together with my brother Chege, we do serve the nation in the insurance services, insurance industry. God bless you all.
God bless you too, Mr. Asava. Thank you so much. As you always say, iron sharpens iron, and a leader sharpens a leader. So I know we'll be sharpening each other as we interact. Mary Joan, karibu sana. You can unmute and just introduce yourself also.
Good evening, Tim.
Good evening.
Okay. Carrier has said, my name is Liz. I'm the daughter to Mr. Bernard Mwangi, and my profession is I'm a customer service officer with Finicity Sacco, and I'm open to this global network. For myself, I'm more of an introvert person, so I don't quite talk a lot. I mostly keep myself even at work. So I'm hoping that this will open a door for me. It will also give me the step-by-step. And it will also provide me a good platform, even when it comes to my people here at home and also at work.
Thank you so much, Mary Joanne. As you said, you are an introvert, but we'll confirm that when we go out for the team building. I know we'll be able to explore and learn from each other more. So we are happy to have you. Asante sana. Next we'll have Fred Mutunga. Fred Mutunga, can unmute and also introduce yourself.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, my name is Fred Mutunga. I'm born again. I'm just 5 to 6 months in salvation. I got born again late December, and I'm really enjoying my new life as a Christian. I'm in a profession of retail. I've done retail management in a top management position. And basically what I'm looking at for at this course is because they say an iron sharpens another iron. So I'm looking at being sharpened, my management skills, which will really go a long way in helping me out in my career. And also in my, because I'm in the process now of settling down. I'm not married. I'm looking forward to getting married very soon, possibly towards the end of this year. So I'm really looking forward for this course to equip me and prepare me for that life, because I know from what I know, it's not a journey. It's not an easy journey. It's a tough one. So I'm looking at this course to sharpen me, both in personal life and also career-wise. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Fred. Sami Lubia. You're welcome, Sami.
Good evening, leaders.
Yeah, good evening.
My name is Sami Lubia. I am a case processing officer. My expectation is to grow and be a leader to my future wife, to my future family, and also be a leader at the workplace. I am born again, and I fellowship at Deliverance Church Umoja. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sami. Your family is very lucky because you are grounding yourself even before you get there. And I think that's a very good approach to starting a family. So we'll open our chat. Our chat is open. So in case we require some interaction, further interaction beyond just the verbal discussion, we'll invite you anytime to be able to use the chat. We learn through the process. Learning is a process where the reason why most programs are not effective in some occasion is because we take them as an event, and therefore we don't really experience the transformation along the way. And that's why we decided to make this program a 3 months program, but just meeting once per day, 1.5 hours. But we experience the transformation as a process. And I'm sure by the time we are concluding in 3 months, we'll have gone the journey, because even going through the class itself is part of the process of learning. And then we'll also learn from the facilitators and also from the content, both the manual and the PowerPoint, and we'll keep on learning from each other. There will be breakout sessions where we'll be able to discuss amongst ourselves and also exchange some ideas, just to be able to learn from our experience. So allow me to take you through a brief overview of the program, and just to be able to help you understand the perspective from which we crafted this program, so that we are able to align our thinking together. So I'll start with this very simple quote by the third president of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki. And this is what he said, as you can see on your screen: that leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. That's a very good mindset of any leader, that every time I'm thinking that if I get to a position of leadership, then I take it as a privilege. I take it as a privilege, not a right, but it's a privilege that has been occasioned to me to be able to better the lives of others. Because the way I think about leadership, then it will make me treat the people in the same way. So if my thinking is aligned to this, then I'll be able to treat the people that I'm leading in line with how I think about leadership. And I continues to say it's not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. So this is a very, very important in this leadership masterclass, that we have been given a privilege to be able to better the lives of the people that we are leading. So that's very important. And just to warm up, there's a picture, I guess, and trust all of you can be able to see the picture of a triangle. And just take some seconds to look at this picture and tell me, or share on the chat, how many triangles can you see? How many triangles can you see? Maybe some of you have come across this, so you might already be knowing the answer. But even if you haven't come across this, just look at it and share on the chat. How many triangles can you see? You can share on the chat. We'll look at how many triangles can you see? Just take another 10 seconds. How many triangles can you see? Once you have your answer, you can share on the chat. Thank you, Benson, 14. So let's see the rest. We can take maybe three or four. So Benson, you're saying 14. Sammy, you're saying 8. So we have 14, we have 8. Let's see the rest. We have 12 from Fred. Yeah, we have 12. We can take maybe one more. So 14, 8, 12. We also have 16. We have 16. And I see 9. Sammy says this is seeing 9. Okay, Sammy initially it was 8, now it is 9. Yeah. And Mary John, you are saying you can see 24. So we have a range of 8 to 24. But are we looking at different images or different shapes? I believe we are seeing all of us the same shape. Yeah, but why the difference? Why the variation from 8 to 24? Yeah, if all of us are looking at the same image or the same shape, why are we having different answers? And I think this one we can take just a comment from maybe 2 people. Why are the answers different if all of us are seeing the same shape?
Okay, can I comment?
Yes, Mr. Chege.
Thank you. I believe we are all created by God, but however, we are all different people. We have different personalities and different abilities. So the answers, I think, are not wrong, but it's the way we perceive things. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chege, the answers are not wrong, as you put it, but it's the way we perceive things. Thank you. Let me take one more. Just unmute and share your comment. Feel free. Can take one more. Okay, so Mr. Chege has said we are looking at the image or the shape from different perspectives. Any other comment? Just one more comment, then we move on to the next. I'll be giving you more details on this. Okay, so feel free, even if it's on the chat, just feel free to share, but we'll look at this. So if we continue, this is the answer. And let's clap for, let's appreciate Mary John. Mary Joanne, you got the answer. I think you are the winner of our first prize today. We'll be telling you what prize it is. So actually there are 24. There are 24. But you can see the sequence. For you to get 24, you really have to take you really have to take time. You really have to take time to unpack the triangles bit by bit. 2, you really have to go deep beyond the surface. If probably I look at just a very high level shape, I might see just a few, maybe 3 or 4 or 8 or even less. But if I can take more time just to be able to unpackage bit by bit, then you realize, wow, at the end of it all, you will be able to arrive at the 24. So the masterclass, we appreciate every perspective, and not just in the masterclass, but I think in leadership, because people look at things differently. There's something I learned when I was leading a team, but outside the country. And we were a team of different people from different countries, from different backgrounds, from different cultures. And initially, it was very hard to understand each other because my perspective, I believed, was right. And my perspective was informed by also my bringing the culture, the environment that I had grown in. But there was another person from Indonesia. This person is also has grown from a different culture, different environment, and therefore the way they perceive things was also much different. And at the initial stage, we had a lot of challenge to be able to understand each other until we reached a point and we said, guys, we need to pause. I think we need to learn to listen more and probably be able to adjust and moderate our talk. Because unless we listen more, we might miss the other person's perspective, because I am holding on my perspective so much, and I believe this is the one that is right. So the perspectives are appreciated, the different answers are appreciated, because we are looking at that from different dimensions. But again, when we get into more details, probably we can unpackage and be able to see the real answer. So in the masterclass, we believe in details. We believe not just in what I'm seeing or even in how I'm doing it, but we believe that why is the most important. Why I'm seeing that 24 is very, very critical. So a leader, I think, and that's the key role of a leader. the key role of a leader comes in the aspect of why. And why is the issue of purpose? Why are we doing this? And we'll have a session on that just to be able to unpackage this. So this was just to help us just get to the gist of deep thinking, deep analysis, and this is also part of problem solving. Problem solvers, they always take this approach. They don't prejudge, they don't preempt, but they want to get into the details. How well can I unpackage this until I get to the root cause? So there is a question here. What is the toughest leadership challenge? What is the toughest leadership challenge? What do you believe? What do you believe, or what experience? What have you experienced as your toughest leadership challenge? And already the answer, I've put it up there. The toughest leadership challenge is to lead yourself. It's to lead yourself. It's much easier to give instruction. It's much easier to tell people what to do, but it becomes a little bit complex if I have to leave the talk. So the first person that we really need to invest more in terms of leading is how do I lead myself better? Before I can discuss about how do I lead change, how do I lead teams? Because this leading change, leading teams is a ripple effect of a better self-leader. So the moment I become a better self-leader, then it's much easier to be able to lead change and also to be able to lead teams. This is anchored on what Nelson Mandela said, that until I changed myself, I could not be able to change others. Basically, he was saying until I'm able to lead myself, then it's almost impossible to be able to become a better leader to others. And we'll be discussing about self-leadership later on so that we can unpack it. Now I'm just laying a foundation. We look at the vision, some of the objectives, and also the expectation. From the masterclass, what do we expect at the end of the course? And also what are the specific objectives that we tend to achieve as we go through the masterclass. So let's look at our vision as Global Leadership Network. What's our vision? A generational thinker, purpose-centered and vision-driven leader in every home, organization, and country. We expect that at the end of it all, this will be the core of our leadership. As a leader, I'll be thinking generational. That means I'll think beyond myself, think beyond my generation, and that will help me to be able to nurture people around me, to nurture future generations. So I'll pour myself to other people, and then purpose-centered, leading for a purpose, and leading also in line with our vision. These are the leaders we hope to see in our homes, in our organizations, and in our country. So these are our visions, something continuous as we'll be unpacking this. And the main objective of the masterclass, just to have a very sober discussion on issues of leadership, both on challenges and opportunities, and then explore the leaders who have succeeded, the leaders who have had challenges, and some of the lessons that we can be able to learn from them to enhance our personal and organizational leadership. So we'll becoming better as leaders at a personal level, and that will translate to better leadership at our organization. John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership. So if we are to lift any part of our lives or any part of society, then the investment is anchored on leadership. So this will be very core, but with some specific objectives, just to equip leaders with critical leadership skills, knowledge, and also mentality. Mentality, this is the hardest part to deal with, but is the most critical. It's the most critical because how I think about leadership translates to how I lead. And some of the belief set that positively can be able to transform us to be generational thinkers. So also we are looking at empowering leaders with practical skills and tools to be able to leverage our gifts. As Mr. Chege said, I normally say the gold is not outside of us, the gold is in us. And the gold was hidden somewhere that we cannot miss it. That's our gifting, our gifting. If we nurture the gifting, then it opens all the opportunities around us. So that's also the way that we develop leadership. Thirdly, to provide practical solutions to challenges facing society by initiating practical community service projects. Before we graduate, we'll undertake a group project and we'll identify a challenge in the community and come up with an idea on how to address that. And then we also, the other objective is to build a global network of generational thinkers, purpose-centered, vision-driven leaders. As per now, we have about 60 leaders who have gone through this masterclass. And every year we come together just to be able to share experience and also to have team building experience and just to be able to network. So we hope this network will continue to grow, and not just in terms of number, but also in terms of impact, because this is the only way we can be able to transform our community and also transform our nation. If this network grows, our vision 2030 is to have 500 leaders, or 500,000 leaders having gone through this program. And I'm sure that is a voice that cannot be ignored in this country. It's a voice that can really be able to make significant change in our country. What is our expectation? We expect that we'll appreciate the critical role of leadership in transforming change. Also, the issue of understand and apply the 5C. We'll discuss about the 5 C's of a global leader, the 6 I's of a global leader, and also the 6 core principles of leadership. We'll unpack that as we continue. We enhance our skills, our knowledge, and also our attitude on purpose-centered transformational leadership. Inspire a culture of reading. Inspire a culture of reading. I don't know how many of us are currently reading a particular book, either on leadership or on any other subject, but we believe that the moment we stop reading, that also becomes a challenge when it comes to leadership. So we'll be reviewing this book together. I'm sure most of them already have this book, The Purpose-Driven Leader. So we'll do a review of this. And by the time we conclude, we'll have already built a habit or enhanced the habit of reading if already you are doing it. And then we can continue to also impact those around us. And then appreciate and grow networking and collaboration skills. Collaboration is a key now, especially if you're growing a global organization. Then the only way we can reach that extent is through collaboration and through networking. So this is something that we'll engage on more as we continue. And then lastly, to be able to align to our own vision and our own mission. We have a topic on vision, and that will help us just to be able to align whatever we are doing in terms of a long-term vision. The outcomes, to be more informed and transformed leaders. Servant heart, which means service-oriented, selfless leadership. Then enhanced value and impact. We hope that there will be productivity wherever we are, and there will also be enhanced performance. There's one of us I was discussing with, they just concluded cohort 9, and he was giving me an experience, and he told me at his workplace, nowadays he's participating in quite a number of facilitation sessions because he has the content. And two, he told me that people are asking him a lot of questions because this is not how you were a few months ago. What happened? What has transformed your thinking in terms of leadership? Why are you behaving differently than the way you used to behave before? So that is the translation of what we are discussing about, that there will be impact wherever we are. That will be our greatest joy. So enhanced impact, And then all of us will be certified Global Leadership Network member. At the end, there will be a certificate. And we'll also be inviting you to join our team of trainers so that you can help us to facilitate the sessions wherever you are. So those are the objectives. What is the leadership perspectives? How, from what angle are we looking at global leadership members in terms of what are our initiatives, what are our thinking after this, and what are we molding ourselves to be? I'll just highlight a few. One, look at this picture. Look at this picture. This is a speaker, and the speaker has some audience. He asked them one question. The first question, who wants change? I'm sure if we ask that, even tonight, all of us will say we all want change. We all want change. And there's a lot that needs to be fixed out there, and all of us can agree that we all want change. How about if we ask the second question, who wants to change? I don't know if we'll also flow with the audience here. When this question was asked, who wants to change? Then the hands went down. Yeah, but the third question was the most critical. The most critical. Third question the speaker asked, who wants to lead the change? What happened to the speaker and the audience? There was no one. The speaker was left alone. Yeah, the speaker was left alone. So when we ask who wants to change, we'll say yes. Or the team said yes. Who wants to change? There was hesitation. Who wants to lead the change? The speaker was left alone. So, and I think this is the scenario around us. Most people will be ready to, in terms of change. Very few people will really be there to change themselves, but very, very few will be there to be able to lead change. And that's why we are coming in as Global Leadership Network, because we are initiators and leaders of change. So the perspective of the masterclass is to be able to equip ourselves as initiators and leaders of change. So I am an initiator and I am a leader of a change. So if there is a venture that you have been thinking about initiating, then this will be the best time to think about that venture as we go through the masterclass. Second perspective, which is also aligned to the objectives, the specific objectives, to appreciate the role of leadership in leading change. As I said, there's an African proverb that says an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. We are saying leadership determines everything. So you might have a team that is so strong, so powerful, but if the leader is not a lion, then that team may not be able to achieve much. Yeah, it may not be able to achieve much. And you may have a team of people who are not that vibrant, but they have a good leader. That good leader can awaken the people to be able to perform much. So the critical role of leadership cannot be swept under the carpet. It has to be shouted more louder and appreciated more louder, so that we can be able to really address where the real change is going to happen. I mentioned about enhancing our skills, knowledge, and experience. Ecclesiastes 3:10, it says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the axe, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. We realized there are so many people in position of leadership, but when it comes to issue of empowerment, especially on leadership capacity, they have not been well empowered. So it becomes a hassle and a struggle to lead. It becomes like an axe that is not sharpened. You are hitting the tree, but nothing is really happening. You are so passionate, you are so zealous, you are so committed, but you are wondering what is not working. What is not working? And probably that element of just sharpening ourselves in terms of skills, in terms of our experiences, might unpack everything. Most of us will translate our productivity, I'm sure, to a very, very high level after this. There's a principle that we'll be discussing referred to as Pareto rule, the 80-20 rule. So if you have been sharpened, then with little strength, like 20%, you can be able to achieve 80% results. But if you are not sharpened, then you need 80% strength to achieve 20% output. We'll unpack that as we continue. Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. So I think sharpening ourselves is very important. And this is the only way that we can be able to enhance our productivity. We also be building what we call resilience in ourselves. And this is very, very important because this is what distinguishes a successful person, a successful leader in life. If you are able to keep on maintaining consistency and momentum, then despite the challenges that I might experience, I'll be able to maintain momentum. The difference between successful and unsuccessful leaders is basically resilience. That ability to stay on, to bounce back, to be persistent, and to be able to remain standing, and to be able to activate the inner strength to get back on track despite the bumps. As leaders, I know we hit a lot of bumps from the family level, from the organization level. Wherever you are leading, there is so much bumps that we are hitting every day, so many bumps that we are hitting every day. And look at the example that I've shared on the screen there of Abraham Lincoln. And you look at what he went through. In 1832, he lost his job. 1833, failed in his business. He lost his sweetheart. He suffered a nervous breakdown. He was defeated in his run for Illinois Speaker. He was beaten in the run for Congress, defeated for US Senate, defeated for the nomination of Vice President. But in 1860, he was elected the President of the US. That's what we call resilience. Resilience, that ability of not giving back, but continuing with the momentum. Remember, even some of the leaders around us, there are leaders in this country that we can point out as these leaders that have been very, very resilient. And I think, let's take a guess in terms of our country, Kenya, both from the, either from the political arena, from the corporate, which one leader can we point out as the most resilient leader? The leader that might have gone through some of these challenges in a different context, but still remained standing. Who can that leader be? Or which leader can you identify within our context, being as one of the most resilient leader? Yeah, just share on the chat as we see. Either from the political or from any other area of leadership in Kenya. If we are to single out one leader as the most resilient, who can we single out? Who can we single out as the most resilient? And Abraham Lincoln said, success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. We have some leaders who have gone through this in our country. Yeah, I can see Sammy, you are saying President Mwai Kibaki. Rebecca, you are saying the former Prime Minister, Gwambo. Bernard Mwangi, you are saying Raila. So the most resilient leaders. And I think we can all agree. There are times that for President Moi Kibaki to become the president, he went through a number of failures, but he still became the president. Raila Odinga has gone through a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes we think his political dreams are over, and then all of a sudden he bounces back. That's what we are referring to as resilient. So even as in our own leadership space, the resilience is critical, and we'll be enhancing this as we continue. Then lifting the leadership lead. A leader sets the lead. A leader sets the lead. A leader is like a lead. Kiongozi ni kama kifuniko. So I put the lead on my organization, I put a lead on my family, and if I'm growing, I'll be lifting that lead higher. And this is our expectation, this is our thinking as a Global Leadership Masterclass, that we'll be able to lift our leadership lead through this class. So we become more knowledgeable, more experienced, we build our knowledge base, then we're able to lift our leadership level to a higher level, and that will translate with lifting the organization and the people around us to a higher level. Then we'll also talk about self-care, a very, very important concept, self-care. I don't know how many of us normally intentionally block some time for self-care. And self-care, here we are talking about capacity building ourselves, either through your own personal development program or even a corporate development program. We all schedule time for having meals. We take our breakfast, we take our lunch, and also we take our dinner, and maybe many other arrangements that we might have to take care of our body, But how well have we also arranged ourselves to take care of our mind so that we can grow our mind? What is my schedule in terms of growing my mind? On board a plane, you'll always see this announcement. In the event of an emergency, put your oxygen mask on first. And that is purely leadership. That I need to continue capacity building myself. I need to continue taking care of myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, so that I'm able to offer good leadership to the people out there. Erin Urban said, my secret to success is making sure that my cup is full so I can pour into my team, my organization, and my industry. As we sit down every evening on Saturday, this will be an opportunity just to refill our cups, so that on Monday, probably I'll have something more and something fresh that I can pour into the cups of the people that I'm leading. So this will be a time just to develop ourselves so that we can be able to develop others, because if we are able to take care of ourselves first, then we can be able to take care of others. That might look a little bit selfish, but that is also very critical. It's also very critical so that we are able to continue enriching the people as we become better leaders. Dynamic leaders, we are in times that we are calling our a VUCA world. We are in a VUCA world. A VUCA world basically means a volatile environment. Things are uncertain. There's a lot of complexity in our environment. There's also a lot of ambiguity, and COVID has taught us this. Sometimes we are not even able to predict if your decisions will work out well. Sometimes we take initiatives and we are not sure what will be the end product. This is a term that was coined from a military perspective, because military, they always deal with uncertain missions. You are not sure if you will even come back alive. So that volatility, this is what is happening in our country and in our leadership space. And that requires that we become very dynamic in terms of our learning and in terms of our adaptability. There's so much rapid change, a lot of transition, complexity in the leadership space. There's so much information. People are more informed now. So we are leading people who are much informed, and a lot of changes are happening around us. So I think that ability to be able to adapt, to be more innovative, to learn and unlearn, and is important so that we are able to keep at pace with the pace of change. We are saying that our leader should keep his head in the cloud, but feet on the ground. Be ahead, but walk together with the people. Be ahead in terms of knowledge, in terms of growing yourself, in terms of enhancing my capacity, in terms of a vision. But again, I'm also working together with the people so that I can be able to guide them. So finally, on the issue of the masterclass perspective and also the specific objectives, this is critical, also appreciating the power of networking and collaboration. Appreciating the power of networking and collaboration. Look at this picture. Where do you see leadership in these two pictures? Where do you see leadership in these two pictures? Is it A or B? And what are the differences? Maybe first, where do you see leadership? And we said every perspective is appreciated and
Okay, I see leadership in B.
Yeah.
In B, because you can see there is teamwork.
Teamwork.
And you can see they are even getting the objective of getting the fruit.
Yeah.
But A is individual effort, which does not amount to anything, to any success. Yeah.
So teamwork, and also they're achieving the objectives. The objective was to get the fruits. So team B is already getting the fruits. Team A, everybody's still having their own basket. Okay, so any other comment? Where do you see, I can see some of you have indicated we are seeing leadership in B. So maybe you can add a comment. We can take 2 comments on this. There's quite a lot that we can also pick from here. So thank you, Mr. Chege. So anybody else who may want to make a comment, what the differences you are seeing on these 2 teams? Yeah, maybe Mr. Sava, any comment you can make? Any observation?
Okay, team A. In team A, you see there is individualism, as it has been alluded to, and you can see all of them are struggling. You can see the leader who looked like the one in the middle, who looked like the bigger one of all, is also struggling with the smaller one. The ones who look a bit weaker. But in figure B, you see the one who looks a bit weaker or a bit smaller is the one who is at the top. Now is the one who is grabbing the fruits and delivering them down. And you see, be it as small as he is or weak as he is passing the fruit downwards and collaborating with the ones who are downwards. And you see the one who looks a bit stronger is the one who is at the bottom, at the base. So the one who is at the base looks like he's the one who is supporting the others upward. So a leader should be able to carry the burden or a bigger burden of the others as he sees them, delivering the work or the goods or whatever it is. So as they are delivering, he's also benefiting downwards, down there. In other words, he's supporting the rest of the group.
Yeah, very true, Mr. Sava. Bernard Mwangi, you are saying on the chat, Team A says every man for himself, God for us all. Team B, the leader becomes the ladder for others to climb to the top. quite a lot of session. There are a lot of lessons from what you have shared. The sacrifice, especially for Team B, there's a lot of sacrifice, especially on the person that is down there, to be able to carry the others so that they can be able to attain their objective. So there's sacrifice that comes with the leadership. I think Asava mentioned issues of collaboration. You needed to collaborate for us to be able to achieve the objectives. And also there is the issue of strategy. I'm sure Team B took time to think, to be able to brainstorm and to be able to think about their objectives. So I'm sure this is a team that was able to really take some time to do the planning. And then after the planning, they executed. And now we can see at the end of it all, everyone will walk home with a fruit. So can this be a reflection at our organization? Can this be our reflection in the teams that we are leading? And I think this is the best mindset to be able to impress, where we are able to work as a team, impress the teamwork. As Fred was saying, Team B, because of teamwork, there is results, because the basket is almost full with the fruits. So this is what comes with issues of appreciating networking, appreciating collaboration. And just as John Maxwell said, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. You can achieve a certain level of greatness, but if you really want to be a global leader, then issue of collaboration becomes very important. Issue of continuous growth becomes critical. And he says no accomplishment of real value has ever been achieved by a person working alone. So we'll be maximizing impact through issues of collaboration and also compounding transformation. And the results, we can see Team B, they are able to maximize the benefits. They are successful at the end of it all. Why? Because the strategy was collaboration, the strategy of networking, and this is what will be informing most of our discussion. We'll have sessions where we'll be co-learning as teams and also co-creating, especially when we'll be handling the group project. So I think this is something actually worthy just sitting down to be able to discuss this evening, because I'm sure there is quite a lot of lessons that we are able to pick from this. We have had an experience ourselves as Global Leadership Network, and you can see some of our members out there. And this has been the team buildings, the activities, the networking, and just to be able to appreciate and help all of us to be able to learn from each other. And even this team will also have an opportunity to do this later on as we continue. So the structure, I had already shared the structure, coursework, which is 16 modules. And that will be coming from the manual, Global Leadership Manual. I think all of us have the manual. I think all of us have the manual, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. Yeah, Mr. Fred, I'm sure you have the manual.
Yes.
Chege. Mr. Chege, I trust you received your manual today.
Yes, thank you very much. I received it.
Good. Asava, I know you already have yours. Mary Joanne.
Yes,
Mary
I already have it.
Thank you so much. Mary Joanne, you already have your manual?
Yes, I do.
Great. And Sammy and Fred, I know I handed the manuals to you. So we are sorted in terms of the manual.
Yes.
Good. So we'll be looking at the 16 modules from the manual Becoming a Global Leader, and then weekly review from the Purpose-Driven Leader, and then project proposal will follow on. And then stage 4, there will be a course evaluation. And then stage 5 is still under development. We'll update you as we continue. So this is the course structure. And the levels, the 16 modules are divided into 3 levels. Level 1 is self-awareness as a leader. And then level 2, intermediate leadership development. Basically, we'll be defining leadership and getting into nitty-gritty details of leadership. Level 3 is core leadership competences. This will be a packaged level because this is where we'll be discussing a lot of core issues on leadership. And then level 4 is how can you be able to help others? How can you be able to pour out others what you have been able to learn? So that this is basically how we'll handle the 16 modules, and then we'll go through this in 12 weeks, but we'll just be meeting once a week, every Saturday for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, we'll focus on the virtual for now. So there are ongoing cohorts. We have cohort 10 meeting on Sunday at 4 p.m. We have cohort 11 meeting on Thursday, sorry, not Tuesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. And then cohort 12, you are cohort 12. Our meetings will be going on Saturday at 8 p.m. So as we prepare for the preliminary session, we just handle one session today. Let me allow you just 2 minutes just to freshen up. I know we are meeting virtually, and I think it's just good to stretch a bit. So let's take just some 2 minutes. You might need to have a healthy break. You can quickly do something, and then we'll be able to continue. Please just have a break, and then let's move on.
When I saw the photo of part B, I saw the element of the teamwork. Apart from the teamwork, if I looked at the faces of those gentlemen, and they were very happy. I actually realized and saw that there is no leader there. It's people who had come together and they had agreed that they are there for a common purpose, and there are people who are integrated. They were all, let's say, not selfish. They were all for a common goal, and that caught me. It caught me. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chege. I think you can also relate that to an ant, the ant.
Yes.
Work together.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sava. Can share just a comment also as we conclude.
Good. There's actually a lot we have learned. We have talked quite a lot, and I'm still digesting on all of them. But some of the things that also, okay, one of the things that I've just learned out of this is that for one to be made an effective leader, one has to make a leader out of himself, as in through the interaction, through the learning, through all the processes, one has to become a better leader to himself or herself before he becomes a leader. And again, leadership is a process. As you mentioned at one point, leadership is a process. You cannot become a leader within one day or within a moment. It is an ongoing, it's an ever-changing, with all the dynamics out there. It's a learning and an ongoing process. There's quite a lot that one has to be alert on and keep up with the changing trends. So that's what I take out of what we have learned. It is actually a vast information that is still out there that we have to become better people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sava. Mr. Fred Mutunga, your comment. Mr. Fred. Okay, Mr. Sami, also, if you are ready, you can just unmute and share your comment.
My takeaway today would be, if I am to become a leader in maybe a specific place, then greed should not be should not be part of my character. And another thing is, if I want to see change, then I have to change myself first. Then I can change my environment. Then later on, I can change even the people that are around me. So that has come out as a challenge. Like, if I want to see my environment clean, if I want to see my country clean, then I should start by cleaning myself first, something like that. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sami. Yeah, we change our environment by changing ourselves. Thank you so much. Fred Mutunga, I can see you have unmuted. You can share.
Yes. Yeah, basically from what we've discussed today, it was basically the laying the foundation for the whole cause. But my main pickup point was exactly that the toughest leadership challenge, that is leading self. And what I've learned is leadership is it has to start with me first, for me to be able to now lead others. And that was really my pickup point. And I've really known that for me to be a leader and also to be like a role model to the rest, that has to come from myself first. So I think by the end of this course, then it will have impacted me positively on the way I handle myself as a leader and as an example to the rest. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fred. Mary Joanne, your comment. Okay, Mary Joanne, if you can hear me, can unmute and share a comment as we conclude. Okay, so I can see Rebecca, my takeaway, taking care of myself enables me to take care of others. So I trust that the foundation, and as you can see, the foundation is on self-leadership. We transform our environment by transforming self, just as Sami has said. And I remember what I quoted Mother Teresa, and she said, if all of us can sweep our compound, then the world will be a clean place. That's the spirit, that's the mentality, that's the thinking, that as we continue becoming better, then we'll be able to help all the other people around us within our environment to be able to become better, consciously or unconsciously. So thank you so much. We're happy to host you. We look forward for further engagements as we continue. So we'll be creating a WhatsApp group just for cohort 12 for this period of 12 weeks. So if we share a link, please feel free to join so that we can share more updates through that group. So with that, I request that we unmute and share the words of grace as we conclude. And may the grace
of our Lord,
Of our
Lord Jesus
Jesus
Christ,
Christ,
Love
and the
of
love
God,
and the
God,
love of God,
the fellowship
and the
fellowship of the
fellowship
Holy
of the Holy Spirit
be with us
be
with
now
us
with us
now
now
and
and
forever.
forevermore.
forevermore.
Amen.
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 Barikiwe sana.
Amen.
Have a blessed night.
Amen.
Thank you. God bless you,
Amen.
Mr. Kerry.
Amen. Amen. Be
God-
blessed too.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Amen. Good night.